Ah. I tried to start this. I don't know if I'm on or not. It's not telling me yet. But I just tried to start this. When I realized I hadn't finished doing a bunch of other stuff again with my work. I haven't signed out with a couple of people from work. Just got to do that. Go. Right. I'm opening the chat room. Opening chat room. There we go. Sorry about that. Wow, I've got Steve on as well, and Basic Person. Basic Person, by the way, I did get your. I know that you twat at me and everything, but I was just finishing up dinner, and I forgot that I left my computer on, and basically came back and was just trying to sort out some stuff from work before I came on to you guys. So here we are. I have nothing on the agenda tonight. I basically have no topic, nothing to talk about, nothing to, nothing. I got nothing. Sorry about that. I showed you all my artwork, and I've showed you all of the. I've talked to you about random stuff. So yeah, if you've got any, it's just a random Q&A, I guess, a random just chat with you guys. So if anybody wants to talk about anything, anybody got any comments or suggestions or anything, if you want to talk about any of my videos, also let me know. I would like to talk about those. That's primarily one of the reasons why I started the LiveTUBBS thing on the old channel in the first place. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, Basic Person, yeah, I wasn't ignoring you. I was just trying my best to get on here as fast as I could. But because I was watching the last episode of season 2 with my aunt of Game of Thrones, and finishing up my dinner, and basically wanted to come back on here. So yeah, I wasn't ignoring you, dude. So yeah, hi Stephen. Stephen says nice cigars. Oh, you mean the is it the background picture? What is it? The default background picture on here of my cigars? I think that is. Stephen, are you still here? It's just that it's saying that I've only got 2 viewers, so I'm guessing that Stephen has gone, which is sad, but oh well. Oh no, he's still here. How is that possible? My viewer count thingy is broken. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, yeah, Stephen. Those were the cigars that I was bringing to the Cigar Social at Manchester Bear Bash in the UK. This year, in fact. Yeah, basically, I just have a background picture for LiveTUBBS, which is for this channel. I basically just I rotate between all the stuff that's in my my general computer like camera backup file, if you know what I mean. So any picture that gets taken by my camera basically gets automatically go away fly. Tiny fly buzzing around my head. Gets automatically backed up into the file on my computer, and I basically just use those because they are the highest resolution images as background pictures and everything. And the reason why I took that picture was because I basically wanted to show, because I was bringing some of the cigars for the Cigar Social at Manchester Bear Bash. I basically wanted to show the guys what I was bringing, and yeah, I just noticed that the fan is making some noise on the mic. I'm sorry about that. I have adjusted it so it doesn't blow on the mic anymore. But yeah, those are all cigars, and then they got all used up because I am that annoyingly generous that I basically give away all of my freaking cigars. To be fair, I had 3 or 4 at Bear Bash. I had one after a mega buffet meal, and that was super awesome. I had another one after a mega buffet meal, that was also super awesome, but that was also at the Cigar Social. And then I had another one while I was doing naughty things to someone's bum, and I'm not gonna go into details about that. So no, I didn't use the cigar. Like, I used the cigar, but I didn't use the cigar on the doing the naughty things on the person's bum. I don't think he watches my channel anyway. I don't think he watches this channel. It's very possible that he watches the other channel. But, you know, friends, whatever. I have no secrets from you guys, so it's totally fine that I said this. But yeah, all of those cigars got used up by basically by me and 2 other friends at the Cigar Social at Manchester. So yeah, and that's why my humidor is currently empty, save for 1 cigar, which I am going to use on my birthday because I can now, because I'm not sick anymore, which is awesome. I really hated being sick, which is not fun. So yeah, anything else to talk about? Anything else? In case anybody's wondering, I am sorry. I am so sorry that there hasn't been any uploads. By the way, somebody chastised me earlier today about the fact that, like, oh, you haven't uploaded anything for the past couple of days. Are you okay? Is your computer broken? What's wrong? And I was like, no, I haven't filmed anything. You know, it's like, well, then you should. You should totally be making videos, dude. Like, you know, you have no other purpose. Like, seriously. But no, they then turned a bit nasty and basically said that, you know, you're being very inconsistent because you're not uploading any videos now and stuff like that. Only they put it less politely. And all I could say to that is that basically, like, people are such idiots. Yeah, I know. And I know I do only talk about, like, the select few that get on my nerves. They only got on my nerves a little bit, but yeah. But I just want to point out that basically, like, my channel, I post something up. I can say with, like, that I have got a very good report. You know, I basically put up something at least once a week. At least once a week. There have been times when I've basically gone a couple of weeks without uploading something, and those times are usually when it's Christmas, in which case I will consider that as a break from the channel. And plus the fact that I don't usually take my editing computer with me when I go away for Christmas. Or if I've been, like, ill, or if I'm away visiting my parents, or, you know, something. Basically, if I'm away from the computer, then I'm not going to upload something. And to be fair, I do give you guys a lot of warning when that happens or when that's about to happen. But I still do get the idiots that can't read the information on my videos. So yeah, I really hate that, by the way. I really do hate that. But basically, like, I get the same questions and the same comments over and over and over again. You know, like, what is your weight? Are you gay? Do you have a partner? Where do you live? And stuff like that. And I usually don't answer them I answer those questions about once a week, but most of the time I either delete the comments or I leave them. I leave them on there because why not? You know. I used to answer these questions basically on my Tubs of the Tubs episode, but because Tubs in the Tub episodes. But I haven't done that for a while because I have been lacking cigars, essentially, because cigars are really expensive in the UK. So I don't, I can't afford to get them and stuff. That's the only time I'm in the hot tub is basically when after a big meal, when I have a cigar. That's the only time I go in the hot tub, and that's like, yeah. I can't do a Tubs in the Tubs episode if I don't have the ingredients, all the ingredients to do it. Plus, I haven't been invited, and I haven't had the urge to jump in the hot tub for a little while now. I think that might just be because it's hot. I don't know. Jeffrey Griffin says, you are always producing awesome content, Tubs, and you aren't a robot either, so rude people kick rocks. And all those questions you have already answered anyway. Yeah, I know, right? I'm producing content. I wouldn't say that it's awesome. Like there's been 1 or 2 videos when I've been like, that's a really nice shot. I shot that and was in that really well. But most of my stuff I would consider is fairly mediocre. I just like trying new things with the editing and stuff every now and again. And yeah, the whole acting side. I'm a rubbish actor, so I'm not an actor. So when I do try to act or do something in a video that is mildly considered to be acting, I usually look at it and it's very cringy to me. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's, yeah. Essentially, everything I do in my videos it's not acting. That's just how I am most of the time. Like the whole, because I'm wearing it, the whole pup thing. It's very, 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 very different to acting, because the pup thing is essentially, it's just my 2 sides of being in the puppy mood, like when I see my pups and that they always look like they're having fun doing it, and I basically just try to get into the mindset and basically when they're wrestling, I wrestle like they wrestle, or play fight. It's not acting. It's basically I'm getting in there with them, and I always win. But yeah, and I wouldn't consider it acting. It's just something that I do. So yeah, and the whole Dom pup thing, well, that's just how I am. If you looked at that video, the only things that I would say that I don't normally do is the paw padding, the whole thing. I'll do that. That's something that sometimes happens when I'm wearing this, and the howls, Tubbs, well, me, I love it all, and I'm sure others feel the same. While you are very creative, I'm fairly creative. I would say that I'm above average creativeness. I will give you that. I have the creative +1 in my stats, I guess. Like I've got a pencil, creative +1. I win. Ooh. So just because I was sitting down again, because I'm not doing anything, essentially it's like, I wish everybody understood and knew and like accepted the whole pup thing, because I do enjoy being the top dog, you know. Again, I know I've talked about this before. I wish it was socially acceptable for me to wear this all the time, because I love this thing. And the other one too. In the winter, I'll probably wear that one as well. I might actually. I've got a theory of how I can sort out like the chin thing on the other hood, but I don't want to do it in case I damage it in any way, because of my fat neck, because of my thick fat neck, it's already digging into this thing. You see that? I don't know. I can't see the preview from this angle. You see that? In my head. That's not all hair. That's my head. Because I have a thick neck, and because I have a thick roll on the back of my head, essentially it means that not only are hats difficult to get and fit and stuff, but also the other pup hood is very tight back there. And if I try what I want to try to make it look more like this hood, so my beard can be out and my chin can be not feeling like it's choking me, I basically would have to fold it in certain ways to make that happen, and I don't want to break it by doing that. So yeah, I might consider doing that when it gets a bit cooler. But today's been super hot, so yeah. Jeffrey says, basic person, I hope you are feeling well today. Yes, I've been meaning to ask you. I meant to ask you yesterday, but Jeffrey beat me to it. Like, how are you doing? I'm feeling well today, Jeffrey. That's good. Is it just your leg that's that was opened? You know, is that getting any better? I know it's only been a couple of days, but you know, the human body heals remarkably fast. Rarely, if you consider like all the other animals and stuff. Like we're one of the fastest healers of the mammalian category or something. I can't remember. I don't remember our stats as people. You know. Yes, the top half of my leg. Yeah. So that's the yeah. Okay. So I got a random empathic owie from basically thinking about it again. Sorry. My mouth keeps getting really dry. I think I might have to be hot. Out of fizzy again. I'm glad you're feeling well. I'm fine too, thanks. Yes, that sounds very painful. Yeah. I can vouch and say it's painful. Oh. Oh, so much better. Oh my God. My voice seems to be a lot better today. I'm getting random messages from Bruna, like lots of them. And the bug zapper's got something. Something exciting? Nope, it's that tiny fly. I'm deciding to play with the lenses again, because why not? But yeah, I got the super wide angle lens. Now that's the one I was using. This is the one I was using for the that was the top dog, the boss dog video. I had them all out earlier, and I got the idea to basically do this again because I never showed you guys properly on my other camera. I mean, they worked on my other camera. This is the fisheye, the peephole. But yeah, it's basically a peephole. It's super weird and cool at the same time. Tubbs, I'm so glad that you can just chill now that you have finished the artwork for Woody Bear. You deserve some downtime. Actually, I've been working on another piece of artwork, but they're not so. They want to keep it private. I'm basically going to draw it and then send it to them. So I've been doing artwork still. I just haven't been doing. I haven't been doing it so publicly. I actually did it a bit. Oh, is that on there? Yeah. I've just been doing it off camera. I did some after I was on camera with you guys yesterday. No, don't put it back in the bag. Your lenses are very cool. Yeah, I was just trying to demonstrate some because basically somebody who watches my videos, but they never catch them live, which I totally understand. They wanted to see my video with the lenses, but they weren't. They said that it wasn't very clear on the other camera for some reason, so I just wanted to go through them again. And this one is super cool because it's a CPL mobile phone lens. It's a polarized lens. I don't know how much. I mean, look at that. I have to rotate it. But how cool is that? It changes the shade, where the shading is coming from. But yeah, if I look through it, it doesn't basically nothing, but it lucks out my screen and my phone screens and everything. Clear, dark, clear, dark. But yeah, it's a polarized lens. It's quite awesome. If I look at my glass, then the way that the grain, is in the glass is really, really awesome. It makes it look like it's doing funky, super awesome stuff. Anyway, next one. Yeah, they wanted me to do it better on this one to explain, to show you guys what's going on. This is the telephoto lens, which is just it's a magnifier basically. It's a 2x telephoto lens. It's really cool. It's basically part of my glasses. But it's really cool because I can do that and I can just look through it and I can, well, it's a magnifier. So everything's zoomed in. But yeah, these are super cool because I'm going to use a lot of these in future videos. Well, what's this one? Oh, this is the less fisheye lens. I might use this in my next video that I'm thinking of doing because it's slightly more clear and it's less big. This is only the 180-degree one. The other one is a 200 and it's either a 200-degree or 360. I can't remember. I don't think it's a full 360. That's impossible, isn't it? But yeah, that's a 180-degree one. It's really awesome. So I might use that one instead of the wide angle next time because I wanted to kind of go for a less fisheye, but only just less fisheye. And this is the macro lens. With a convex wide, it's a convex width. It's a lot more personal width, you know. So it makes everything appear to be further away, a lot further away, because it's got a convex shape to it, lens. So this is just a macro lens, a macro wide angle lens, 0.65x. So it does the job of the big one, but it's less fisheye, you know what I mean? And I can combine some of these and basically get super cool, funky effects, which I will not do because I know it's very, very boring to some people. But no, I think his name was Lewis. So Lewis, if you're watching, I hope you, or if you're watching the playback, then I hope you got the most out of those lenses. I really like them. I think they're fun. I'm going to be using a lot more of them in the future. I shouldn't have done that bag up. They come in a little carry case, and it's really small. It folds down into your pocket like that big. So it just goes in my pocket. When I'm wearing my cargo trousers, I basically just put it in the bottom pocket, and I just, yeah. They've got lens covers and everything. Like, I'll take the big one out again just to show you guys. They come with lens covers. See, it doesn't protect the bottom part, but it comes with a lens cover, and it just tells you a little bit what it is as well. Only a little bit, but on the side. Don't know if the lighting's picking it up. But yeah, if you basically do get a problem with your lenses, then it can be easily solved by wiping it on the bag, because the bag is kind of a microfiber-esque quality to it. So all you do is you basically get the lens and wipe it on the bag a little bit, and it basically cleans the lens and stuff. And while they're in the bag, they get cleaned as well. But yeah, and they all come with this little clip. So you put it on the end of this clip, and then you just clip that onto your phone over the camera. But actually, does it work on this? Oh, just not. Yeah, it does. So I could clip it onto that camera if I wanted to. But I can also do that with my web camera on my computer and all that stuff. So it's super awesome. About what, like £12, £10, I think it was, on Amazon. So 10 British pounds. Go get it. It's super cool if you like camera lenses and stuff, photography. But yeah, that basically has saved me getting an actual camera that actually has like detachable lenses and stuff. And you know, all of that can cost, for a very decent set, all of that can cost about 10 times more than I paid. In the very least, it's about £100 for a decent camera with a set of lenses. So yeah, it's about £10, 10 British pounds, you know, GBP, whatever that's called, on Amazon. Yeah. Does anybody have any topics, anything else to talk about, anything that they want to talk about? Honestly, I'm open, an open book from this point. You know, well, usually always, but you know, Does anybody watch Game of Thrones? Does anyone want to talk about Game of Thrones? Because me and my aunt are on season 2 of Game of Thrones. She's been watching it with me since the middle of season 1. Itchy nose. Yeah, she's been watching me since the beginning. Watching it with me since the middle of season 1, and her favorite character is Tyrion Lannister. But yeah, if you're going to talk about the Game of Thrones, though, I will warn you that you will not spoil any of season 7, because the whole reason why I'm watching Game of Thrones again is so that when season 7 comes out on Blu-ray, I'm going to purchase it and watch all of it after I finish watching the end of season 6 again. So yeah. But yeah, if anybody wants to talk about Game of Thrones, please. I'm going to just talk about Game of Thrones then. How about that? Yeah, Game of Thrones. Well, Mbess says somewhere here about what happened today in Barcelona. I heard that there was a terrorist attack, but I don't know the details. I basically just heard that there was a terrorist attack. Another one, which is bloody typical. You know, in Barcelona as well. It's usually in some place that like well, I guess they don't expect it. That's why they did it. I got confused after season 4, says Steve. Well, season 4, what happens in season 4? It is very much a drama. I was noticing that. I didn't notice that the second time I watched it all the way through, but I noticed it the third. That I'm noticing it now. It's very much like a drama series, but with little bits of strategy and sex and death, of course, in there as well. There's lots of drama in it, and it is hard to keep track of all of the drama, you know. So I understand that, but yeah. There are a lot of characters, and they do all come with their own baggage, and I guess it can be hard to keep up with everybody's individual plots. For example, I can't remember what happened to the Baratheon bastard. You know, the Rob's son, Rob's legitimate son, is the blacksmith boy. Him, and basically, like after watching it all the way to the end of the second one, I couldn't remember what happened to him. And at the moment, the point that I'm up to, he is away with Arya Stark. After being in the Black Keep for a long time. Okay, this is what I mean. This is what I'm talking about. I'm going to get to that in a second. That's great. You aren't watched it with me, yeah. Yeah, she likes. Yeah, she likes it. It's a bit awkward though because of all the sex that happens. You know, I kind of get embarrassed because I'm watching something with my aunt and it has lots of sex in it, but not a huge problem. Really, you know, she doesn't seem to be that fussed. So basically, I'm not that fussed. Yeah. Basic Person says, no, I haven't seen it because I'm being stuck in hospital, so I'm waiting for it to come out on DVD or Blu-ray. Well, what does that mean? You haven't seen all of it, or have you seen up until like a certain point? Because I haven't seen any of season 7, so definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, I've been avoiding people like the plague. Basically, when it comes to Game of Thrones, I definitely haven't been on Facebook for very long amounts of time because I know things are going to get spoiled so easily. And even the trailers themselves are kind of hugely spoiler spoilery. So yeah, I don't know if you've actually seen any of it at all, but it's worth watching. If you haven't seen it, it's worth watching. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to spoil even the bits of Game of Thrones that I've seen so far. I will not tell you who died. I'm not going to tell you who you know, all of the story, all of the backstory. I just want to hear people's opinions on like characters and things like that. You know, so it's not a spoiler discussion here, guys. If you haven't seen past a certain point, so yeah. Jeffrey says M-Best is, yes, so sad about Barcelona. Yeah. Like I said, I haven't seen it. You know, I haven't seen the news. I basically have read that there was a terrorist attack in Barcelona. I don't know what the terrorist attack was about. I don't know what they're terrorizing this time, why they're terrorizing it. It just seems to be a kind of a moot point, because essentially, like, the thing about terrorism is that it's sad, but you have to ignore it. You know, like when the London bombings happened, when the big terrorist attack in June years ago, you know, after 9/11, there was a big like London attack, and I was in Liverpool Street Station in the morning because I was visiting my cousin for like just a walk around London, and basically Liverpool Street Station shook. There was a little tiny like a thud that went through the entire station, and then all of a sudden shutters came down from the ceiling, and like there was alarms blaring, and I wasn't even anywhere near any explosions. Apparently something had happened in the Liverpool Street Station, in the tube station, far away from me. But I was on a platform. Well, I was about to go through the platform gates. But no, these shutters came down, and like alarms were blaring, and like everybody was just confused. And nobody was panicking. Everyone was just confused as to what was going on. And like we were all like we all decided to go to the nearest fire exit. That's just basically it. But yeah, it took me like 3 hours to get home. Well, 3 hours to get on a train home, because essentially the train station was blocked off. But yeah. But essentially, yeah, terrorism, you kind of have to ignore it. You have to mourn the losses and ignore it. It's sad, but you know, you can definitely stop terrorism. You know, don't ignore the planning stage of terrorism or as it's happening. You know, just kind of stop the terrorists. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm confused, but here we go. Steven says, maybe I'll watch it again. It's very good. It is very good. I love it. I love it. Just can't remember all the characters. Yes, there are a lot of characters with a lot of backstory. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. M. Best says, today I watched Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 6. What? I want to ban you. I want to ban you. I want to remove you forever from my life. I do. I want to remove you from... But no, I'm going to calm down. I'm calming down. That made me feel a little better. Not a lot, but it made me feel a little better. You know, if we were in Game of Thrones, M. Best, if we were in Game of Thrones, and you basically just said what I just read to me without, you know, if you basically just did what you just did. Yeah, I probably would have got my dagger and stabbed you. I don't know. I'm that pissed. I would have been that pissed. Wow. Yeah. Well, great. Well, fuck. It's really annoying, basically, because I have just said to my mother on the phone that I've been really good and I've avoided all of the spoilers. You know, whenever somebody's about to talk about Game of Thrones, I basically haven't read it. You know, or I basically have been in person with them and basically have said, okay, I'm going to have to stop you because not all of us have seen season 7 yet. You know, before they've revealed anything. But I read most of the message. I didn't read all of it, but I read most of that message. So, yeah, thanks. Okay, I'm a little less hot now. Let's go back into the fan a bit. Actual rage. Actual rage. Wow. Okay. Steven says spoilers, yeah. Basic Person says more spoilers too. I haven't read what Basic Person said before he retracted it. But yeah. Jeffrey Griffin says, yes, don't spoil it for Tubbs or anyone else because they haven't seen haven't seen 7 yet. Yeah. Basic Person says, no, I haven't seen it yet, but I want to because I like stuff like that. Well, you should totally watch what you mean. You haven't seen any Game of Thrones, Basic Person. I'm still angry. You haven't seen any Game of Thrones. Well, yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything. But if you like bears, shaped like me, then I would definitely take note of the king because he's quite cute in that. Very, very nice guy. The king, Robert Baratheon, the first of his name. So yeah, he's nice. He's a nice, he's a very good character, and he's kind of cute, and he's funny, and he's just funny. He's just a funny guy. And Bear Buffer's. Yeah, and Bear Buffer's named my tummy after him because apparently my tummy needed a name or something. I don't know what the story is behind that. I'm only mildly aware of my presence within that conversation. No, I haven't seen any of them, and yes, I like bears shaped like you. What, just circular, round? Yeah. I really like my dragons. So you haven't seen any of it, okay? So yeah. The reveal of the dragons, essentially, the point that I'm making is that I didn't spoil anything there, because in season 1, it's this whole big thing of like dragons are a myth, you know, because basically there hasn't been dragons in thousands of years and all this stuff. But I'm sure that you've like seen a trailer or something for Game of Thrones, so you must know that there are dragons in it. But you know, there could be actual dragons, or there could be metaphorical dragons, or characters that are basically called dragons and stuff like that. So who knows? Who knows? But yeah, the dragons in Game of Thrones, I really like them too. They seem to be fun characters. They seem to have all of their own unique personalities as well. And I really love Drogon. Oh, yeah. So, dragons. You've seen the trailer, so you know they're dragons. Okay. Well, there's there's a dragon called Drogon, and he's got to be one of my favorite characters. That's the thing. Game of Thrones has so many characters that I don't really have a favorite. I have a top 5, you know, and I will say that Drogon, the dragon, is one of my favorite characters. Oh, so good. Steven says, I've just read Ready Player One. Hope the movie turns out well. I like the concept. I didn't read all of Ready Player One. I think I read a couple of chapters, and then basically, I'd say it's a bit slow, but it's a bit hard to know where you are in that book because they're in different places. You know, there's a big plot point. There's a big plot in Ready Player One, and that's the point I wanted to focus on. Not all of the random mythical places that they find themselves in virtual reality, you know? And that's great. You know, that's great that they can do that. But the book strays away a lot, in my opinion. And I found it really hard to continue reading it, you know? It's very easy to get into, but I found it hard to follow the plot when you have to remember where you are all the time and what's going on, and then you're not in that place, and you know, like, son of a bitch, just get on with it. There's a lot of storytelling. There's a lot of world building, but the worlds never last for you to actually get invested in the worlds that they're in, you know. Me too, basic person. So Jeffrey, you haven't seen it either. Any of Game of Thrones either. It's good. You should totally watch it. Yeah, I've seen the trailer. That's good. Oh, M Best, you have been taken out of the timeout. That's good. If you spoil anything for me ever again, I'm going to block you. Enough said. Okay. M-Best says you believe in dinosaurs but not in dragons. That's not true, because dragons do exist. So what's your point now? I believe in dinosaurs. Dinosaurs exist because they existed, and some of them are still around today. You know that, right? You know that not all the dinosaurs died. You know that, right? You know, are you really that stupid? Seriously? But you know that there are dragons, right? I bet you're talking about the mythical dragons. Are you saying that mythical dragons existed? You mean like the Chinese giant dragons, which were basically gods, or the the Western Europe, you know, the European Western dragons, which were basically the dragons from Game of Thrones. Yeah, well, those don't exist. And to be fair, I'm not saying that they never existed, because I want to believe. I've got no evidence for it, but I want to believe that the European type dragons, even the Eastern dragons, I don't mind either one, that they existed at some point in history. I would love that. You know, I would love them to find a dragon skeleton somewhere, or a fossilized skeleton of a dragon somewhere in the world, because holy shit, that would be so amazing. You know, that would be so cool. But we don't have those yet. So I've got to know that those dragons never existed. But we do actually have dinosaurs living on Earth right now, and we also have dragons that are living on Earth right now. So what is your point, Invest? But you don't have one. Stephen Friendly says Tubbs has the best bear shape. Yeah, you like round too. You like tubby bears. That's okay. Jeffrey says, so true, Stephen. Tubbs definitely. Okay. We get it. I mean, you're on a chubby bear YouTube channel right now. We get it. So we all like round bears. Ember says, you believe only on thing what you see, dude. What? I don't understand what you said. Please type better. You know, I don't know how to correct your grammar for you. But I think are you saying that you believe only the things that I see? Is that what you're trying to say? I believe in only believe in the things that I see. No. I believe there's far more than I see. You know, I know that more exists that I can actually see. So, you know, I'm waiting for the point. I'm still waiting for the point. We all are, you know. And Beth says yes. Oh, so yeah. Okay. That's still not the point. What's your point, dude? I don't mean to sound like I want to get rid of you. It's just that you've pissed me off. But I'm trying to be fair. And I've already punished you. So basically, you know, I'm trying to speak to you civilly. Even though I really don't want to. Okay, here we go. And Beth says, we cannot deny that dragons was not exist. Okay, I don't know how to unpack that even. We cannot deny that dragons was not exist. Do you mean that we cannot deny that dragons don't exist? So basically what you're trying to say is that we can't prove that dragons didn't exist. Well, then you've got the burden of proof to basically give me evidence to say that dragons existed. Because I'm not claiming that dragons don't exist. You're the ones that you are the one that's claiming that dragons did exist. So if you're trying to claim something, because I'm not claiming that dragons didn't exist, you are. Because you're basically claiming that dragons did exist. I'm claiming that basically I don't know if dragons existed. I want to believe that dragons existed because it would be awesome. But you know, I don't have any evidence of it. If you have evidence of it, then basically you are claiming, even if you don't have evidence, you are still claiming that something exists. So you have to prove to me that dragons exist or have existed. You know, show me a skeletal fossil remains of a dragon. Do it. Otherwise, I can't believe that dragons exist. And it's sad. I can't believe that dragons exist. I mean, ago, many years, like dinosaurs, says Embes. Right. There have been no fossilized records or evidence to say that dragons existed like dinosaurs. That's the proof I want. That's what I want. I'm not against you in this. I just want evidence. What's so bad about that? All I'm saying is that basically current understanding shows us that in history, dragons have never existed in the mythical sense that dragons have, existed. The mythical dragons from myths and legends, stories, fiction, basically, they've never existed. That's what current understanding is, okay? Show me evidence to the contrary. Present the evidence to the contrary, please. You check it. You want me to find evidence? Okay, I can't. Because there isn't any that I can find. You're the one that's claiming it. You have to present the evidence. Anyway, Stephen says, must go, time for feeding, farewell tubs. Right, Steve, do you want a belly show before you go? Have you already gone? Ugh. I will try to do that before you go, so you don't miss it later. Because I'm not here later. Right. There's belly. But no, I'm glad that you were here, Steve. Steve. By the way, Steve, I'm coming to America next year, so like if you are in or around Las Vegas between the 4th and the 9th of April, then you're totally welcome to like come and have feeding time with me. Not that you have to feed me. I'm just saying that you're going because you're saying it's feeding time. So. Best says, very ugly belly, mate. Don't show it again, and don't fart, please. Fuck you, Best. You're a horrible person. I mean, I can actually say that because I've actually just evaluated your character now. You know, whatever nationality you are, and everything like that, it doesn't matter. I just assumed that it was like some kind of like error in your speech or anything like that that basically made you seem like an awful person. But no, based on the fact that you are saying awful things in the way that you're saying them to who you're saying them, basically means that you are an awful person. Sorry, dude. Sorry to tell you, dude. Awful person. Yeah, Best, you've never watched any of my videos, have you? So I don't understand why you're even here. I'm going to let you respond, by the way. I don't give a shit if you actually get blocked by YouTube or anybody else. I think that you should. I think you should leave, basically. But again, I'm going to wait for you to respond because it's entertaining to at this point. But yeah, if you watched any of my content on any of my other channels, then basically you wouldn't be here, because if you don't like my belly, then most of my channel is based on my belly. So yeah. And the farting thing, what do you mean? I didn't fart at all in this video. So, you know, and telling somebody to stop farting is impossible. You know, that's unrealistic. That's telling them to, you know, do something impossible. It's just not possible. So yeah, you're just a genuinely shit person. That, yeah, it's a shame, really. because although you did have kind of like wacky ideas, you know, and you like the conspiracy theory stuff, I sometimes enjoy debating with you, kind of. Not always, but yeah. The fact that you judge somebody on their physical appearance is something a horrible person would do. So basically, yeah, you are a garbage human, as some other idiot said at one point in history. So it's a shame. Yeah. If you harass me or anybody else again, online harassment, by the way, doesn't really affect me. But if you harass me or anybody on the chat again, or do anything that basically pisses me off, I'm going to block you. This is your only warning. So there you go. But yeah, Stephen says, thanks for that. Stephen appreciated it. So yeah, that's all I care about. Thanks, Stephen. Have a good night, dude. Jeffrey says, that's not nice, Embes. Please don't be rude. Yeah, I know, right? He can do whatever he wants. I don't care. Embes says, I'm a good person, mate. Why you go angry? This isn't angry. I basically haven't been angry while I've been talking to you. I was angry a bit when you did something again. But essentially, I think I handled that relatively calmly. You know. But yeah, if we were in the Game of Thrones universe, then like yeah, it's no hope for you. You're truly lost, as somebody said to Theon Greyjoy, I think. But yeah. Jeffy says, hugs to you, Stephen. Yeah. Stephen Friendly says, just got back from Alaska. Think I can find Vegas games. See, I hope you do, dude. I hope you do. That would be awesome. If basically, it'd be awesome if I could arrange like a YouTube meetup kind of thing for everybody that follows my other channel and stuff. Sorry, there's a spider on that wall, and I just noticed it. It's not a huge spider. I'm going to get into a spider story in a little bit because I have a really good one, like really good. Anyway, yeah, I kind of want to arrange a YouTube meetup thing while I'm in Vegas. I did do one last time I was in Vegas. I did one for I did one for Groma. I basically arranged a Grom off in Vegas, and that was actually pretty good. We went to a kind of like a taco stand place, and we also went to a buffet, and we had then we went somewhere for drinks, and quite a lot of people came, and that was awesome. There was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. But that was to Groma. That was a Grom off. It wasn't just for me. So, but yeah, there's been YouTube meetups and stuff since then by other channels and everything, and I've tried to do one in Manchester, and 2 people came to that one, so that was pretty cool. One of them's been in the chat room on one of my other videos, so that was awesome. Yeah, I showed him a picture. Yes, Jeffrey, you've talked to him in the comments of a video that basically showed me and him next to each other. And the foot guy, the guy who likes my feet. So yeah. But yeah, I might do one of those for that. I'm actually going to gauge the interest. I'm actually going to try to do like a Groma meetup thing. So that'd be fun. It could be fun. Basic Person says, Embes, don't be rude. Yeah, I know. I think he's going to continue now that I basically called him a garbage human. Because, well, actually a shit human. He's a shitty person. Because he is a shitty person, and it's sad. But, you know. he has to show me evidence to the contrary that he is not a shitty person, because basically all the evidence that I have on him at the moment says that he's a shitty person, and it's sad. But whatever. MBest is typing some more. Says, Tubbs, I will report you. Go for it. Lots of people do that. Lots of arseholes basically have like flagged my video recently as like age restricted and stuff like that. So none of my channel is getting any monetized value at all. None of it at the moment. And that's sad, but essentially I never got any money from it anyway. And I don't make videos for the money, so who cares? I will report you to Kim Jong-un. Who's that? Like, seriously. The leader of Korea? Of North Korea? Well, then I've got news for you. If you are a citizen of North Korea and you are on the internet watching my videos in this live stream right now, it's very, 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 very unlikely that you should be doing that. And you'll probably be arrested for it. So go for it, dude. It's kind of funny. Where are you in the world? Seriously. Didn't you say that you were in, like, yeah. Ember says, maybe he have a extra missile for you, mate. Okay, enough with the mate thing. You know, it's for friends. And even if you are using it sarcastically, it just doesn't sound right, okay? I'm probably going to do that all the time now because I said that it's stupid that he's doing it, but that would just prove that he's stupid that he's doing it, so whatever. I doubt it. I doubt it. I really do. Do I look concerned? Do I look like I'm turning off this stream just because of that? Yeah. Do I look bothered? That's something. That's a bit of British slang for you, dude. Do I look bothered? Am I bothered? You know. Has anybody seen Catherine Tate? Oh my God, Catherine Tate. I love that show. The Catherine Tate Show. Awesome. I think that's her name, Catherine Tate. She was a Doctor Who person. Anyway. Jeffrey Griffin says, okay, no one of this is funny, MBest. It's childish. It is. It really is. Like, he's not physically threatening me yet. So basically, I don't think he can. Honestly, even if he typed, I will punch you in the face. I wouldn't consider that as a threat because it's very, very unlikely that he would ever come over here and find where I am and then punch me in the face. So, and he's welcome to punch me in the face if he wants to. But it's like, what will that solve, really, honestly? Essentially, if you're looking for a reason to block him, he hasn't provided one yet. It's mostly just silliness at the moment. I've already said to him, by the way, and you heard me because I said it to you guys on the stream, that like if you want to present evidence, you know, by being a nice person, then you can do so by being a nice person in the chat. But at the moment, it's mostly just being a shitty person. So yeah. Oh, the spider story. I've got to tell the spider story. So remember yesterday I was being attacked by spiders, a couple of them. Well, afterwards I said that I haven't seen a really big spider. You know, not a really big spider hasn't jumped out at me at some stage, like in recent memory. You know, just within the past few days. So I basically said, so I think I'm going to be lucky this summer, and that's not going to happen. Do you remember me saying that yesterday? Well, when I ended the stream, I went into the house and I got my snack, right? I got my snack. But no, before that, I basically went into my bathroom to basically shut the window because I left it open because I had a shower before my live stream. And I basically opened up the toilet, and inside the water, in the toilet bowl, in the water itself, was a spider the size of my hand. A spider. It was a tarantula. Essentially, it was a fucking tarantula in the water of my toilet. The size of my hand. Like, it was sitting under the water like that. It was just like that. It was under the water. A spider the size of... So, I've had that happen to me before. It scared the hell out of me. A spider the size of my fucking hand. I was going to say that I've never seen a spider in the wild. You know, like, you know, over here, that was as big as that. But I have seen a spider that's bigger than that. Actually, in the hot tub shed where the hot tub sits, it's in this big gazebo building thing. Like, holy crap! In the UK, that never happens, right? It just never happens. It just doesn't happen in the UK. It's not supposed to happen. Spiders aren't supposed to be that big and be inside the house. Yeah, it's just wow. I nearly pooped myself. I'm not scared of spiders, but you know, if they surprise me, then yeah, I'm like, you know, spider. But yeah, I swore. My aunt was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I said, "Don't come any closer," because basically she's terrified of spiders. And yeah, it would have been bad, but no. Size of my hand under the water in my toilet, you know. Once the shock had worn off, I basically, honestly, I was only surprised for like that moment when I went, you know, spider, and swore. But once that had worn off, I basically was like just looking at it, trying to figure out how the fuck did it get in my toilet. And when I was looking at it, it lurched. It moved a couple of its legs underwater. Now I know spiders generally don't mind water. They don't. And there are some species that basically live under the water and stuff like that. And I know this, and that's fine. That's totally fine. This thing I didn't believe was one of those species, and it looked dead. So when it moved, I was kind of like surprised again. But it was just so sad because it was like, holy shit. It was just like, wow. But yeah, it moved a little bit. But essentially, I think that it was already dead. I was thinking about rescuing it from the toilet bowl, but basically it was like, I've got nothing to put this thing in, and I don't really want to hold this spider. Although I've done that in the past, it's usually spiders that I can hold like that. If I can hold a spider like that, I will hold a spider like that, or even like that, and you know, throw it out the window or take it outside or whatever. But this thing wouldn't fit in my clasped hands because it was the size of my hand. But yeah, we don't have a spider catcher that's big enough for it, and basically it was, like I said, I'm pretty sure it was already dead and it was just doing twitchiness moves, but it was alive. I mean, it was this giant spider in the toilet bowl. So yeah, I basically put a bit of tissue in there because I wanted to rinse around the bowl of my sink with a bit of tissue, put that in the toilet, and I flushed and I watched to make sure that it was definitely not in the toilet anymore. I'm just surprised. It's bugged me the entire day today. Whenever I've gone to the toilet, whenever I've gone in the toilet, in the bathroom, it just is like, where the hell did it come from? What was it doing in the toilet? Why? What? How? You know, where? Just where the fuck was the spider? What the hell? Fucking giant spider. Jeffrey says, wow. What the hell? Damn! How did it get there? Did it come through the drain? That's what I mean. What I'm hoping, because I don't want to believe that this spider was in my bathroom for the entire time that I was showering, and maybe even earlier when I was pooping and all that stuff. Like, I hope that it basically came through the window, was looking for some water or something, went down into the toilet, had a drink or something, and then when it was trying to crawl out of the toilet, it slipped and fell into the water. I'm hoping that that's what happened, but essentially now we've been having the toilet lid up, and we basically have just been looking at the toilet before we actually get to the toilet now, because holy crap, there was a giant spider the size of my hand in the fucking toilet. So what the fuck? Oh good, Mbest is still here. Says, interesting. This is something now. Okay. Americans shitting on spiders' heads. No. Yeah, wrong statement. Basically, I'm Irish. I live in the UK, United Kingdom. So I'm not American. And nobody pooped on this spider. So, at least I don't think they did. It definitely wasn't there when I pooped before. So, yeah. So, I'm Irish, live in the UK, and nobody pooped on the spider. So, sorry to disappoint you, Mbest, whatever. Well, I don't know why you even said that. It was weird. Anyway, Jeffrey says, I'm afraid to look in my toilet now. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. But yeah, it made me twitchy for the rest of the night. And when I came back in the office after having my snack, there was a not small, it wasn't huge like that thing. It wasn't the size of my hand. It was like that big, this spider. On the window, actually on the window. So basically, yeah, I've angered the spider gods. Or I've at least did say that I was going to screw with the fates by basically mentioning spiders and the fact that I haven't seen a big spider recently. But now I have. Holy crap! Spider. What the fuck? So yeah. But yeah, the one down there, the spider that's just there. Yeah. So I was just making sure it's still there. That's a bit smaller than the one that was on the window. It's only about that size, I think. I know you can't really judge because my fingers are quite short, so basically I don't really have huge. I have big hands, but they're like the rest of me. Like they're quite small, quite short fingers, but big hands because I've got this extra bit of muscle for when my hands get all switched. I've got big paws, small fingers. Basic person says, I am ever since it happened 2 days ago, that was what I meant to say. What? Oh, you're afraid to look in your toilet. Oh, I get it. I know what you mean, because that's what's happening now. I'm afraid to sit on the thing. I haven't pooped since then, but when I do need to poop, I imagine that I am going to very, very carefully examine around the toilet and on the toilet and in the toilet. Maybe even the back part of the toilet, you know, the tank and everything, because yeah, the thought of that thing touching my butt cheek, nope, 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 nope. Ember says maybe the spider thinks the same thing. That's It's not a sentence. And wonder where from come this big ass up to his head. What? Are you calling me an ass? Are you calling me an ass? Is that what's happening? I don't know. I can't understand what you're saying, dude. Okay. Sorry about that. There's a thunderstorm actually in progress, actually over the house at the moment. And I think some ionized atmosphere is basically interfering with my internet connection. There's a lot of rumbling happening. There's definitely a thunderstorm happening outside. I just checked with the local weather. Yeah, all clear now, but I don't know if it will happen again because I don't know how much the thunderstorm is going to affect the internet in the future. Anyway, yes, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, what I'm hoping that he was going to say, and I haven't checked the chat or anything just yet. I'm waiting to refresh it until I've cleared this point up. Is that basically I'm hoping what he's saying is that it's the spider was looking up at the toilet, out of the toilet, wondering where this big furry mammal primate had come from and like what it was doing in its new home underneath the water of my toilet. Maybe that's what he's saying. And all I can say is that, yeah, I do sympathize with the spider, and I am sorry that it had to die. I'm sorry that it drowned, but there's nothing I can do to save it, and essentially it was already dead, I think. So hopefully it didn't suffer too much, and hopefully it's now in our sewer system, and it can find a pleasant grave somewhere else, which is sad, but yeah. This person said, what has happened? Yeah, the internet cut out. I'm sorry about that. I'm hoping that it is okay now, like I said, but I will be keeping track of it. It's just never done that in that order. Whenever the internet goes out, this machine is usually the first thing that notices it because it's got a very, 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 very sensitive wireless antenna, whereas the older machine is basically got a more robust antenna and basically it doesn't cut out, you know. It's usually this one that's basically the problem. So it cut out first and then this one cut out, and that never happens in that order. So it must have been the actual internet that had the actual problem, which is sad, but yeah. Jeffrey says, that's okay, Tubbs. Well, I'm sure you will keep checking every time you go because I would. You handled it well because if I saw that, I would have screamed very loudly. Well, are you sure you just wouldn't have, you know, flushed it? I'm sure you would have been okay, Jeff. But yeah, Embeth says, you say that spider was on the toilet yet? No, it was in the toilet. It was underneath the water of the toilet, because in Western developed countries, basically, our toilets work in the fashion that there's a bit of water, and then there's a larger bowl, and then you sit on the raised rim of the larger bowl, and then basically, like, you know, you poop, and your poop goes into the water and is submerged in the water, which is something to do with it stops it smelling, and also the water acts as kind of like a catalyst for the poop to break up, so that when it's in the sewage, it basically breaks up into more of a slurry or a sludge instead of just poop. I understand that in Eastern countries and like in China and like Australasia, you know, stuff like that. That basically you have kind of you have squat toilets, which operate almost in the same way, but no. Essentially, the bit of the toilet that had the water in it, it was underneath the water, looking right up. So yeah. What is to understand so much? What? I do not understand what that means. I'm guessing that you basically meant. Is it so much to understand what I'm saying? I'm guessing that's what you meant. Something died, folks. Everything is clear. No, it's not. You are going to kill innocent spider with sitting on this little animal. Why don't you sit on spiders? Why would I sit on spiders? What the hell are you talking about, dude? Gonna kill innocent spiders. I love spiders, honestly. I didn't kill it. It fell into the water and it died. Anyway, Jeffrey says the stream went, but Tubbs will fix it. I did. Hopefully it's fixed. The internet is okay. So my bag that I've rested on top of my computer, the lens bag, was covering the internet symbol. But yeah. Okay, Jeff, you okay, Jeff? BP, you are very sweet. Basic person is very sweet. Thanks, hugs for you as well. Basic person. And then he says, hi, Tubbs, because I'm back. So, hi, basic person. Jeffrey says, sorry the stream went crazy, Tubbs, but knew you would fix it. Be safe during the storm. It's not that bad, honestly. It's a thunderstorm. It's only happening up there. It doesn't seem to be actually affecting anything down here. There's no wind. Yeah, there's not much wind. It's just a regular, tiny breeze. It's just the warm air is basically making the internet suck. But yeah, be safe during the storm, Tubbs. Yeah, I will. Thank you very much. And then that's it. That's all I missed, so that's good. I didn't miss an awful lot. It did take a little longer to get back. I didn't do anything, by the way. I basically just I checked on the app on my phone to it shows me all the radio signals and stuff, and I basically checked like what was happening with the internet signal and stuff, and it was being interrupted, which usually means that it's being it's interference from the storm, interference from Vija. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I was going to run away before I was rudely interrupted by the storm. I've been streaming for 2 hours. I thought I was only streaming for 1 hour. No, 23:20 here. Wow. Oh God. Ember says, Tubbs, can you explain me, please? I can't explain you. I can't explain you. I don't know what you're about, who you are, or whatever. Except for that you whatever. What was the toilet system in Ireland before 100 years ago? Before 100 years ago? 100 years ago. Just want to make sure I understand this. 100 years ago, the toilet was very much like it is now. But if you want me to go into more detail, okay. Yes, about 100 years ago, the toilet was very much like it is now. The toilet is not a super new invention. It's been around for a while. I think it's like 400 years old or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know much about toilet history. I do know about like you know, general history and stuff like that. And all I can say that is basically like up until about 50 years ago, essentially most toilets in Ireland, most domestic toilets, that means inside the houses, were not inside the houses. They were in sheds at the bottom of their gardens, and they were basically holes that were cut into either pieces of stone, a stone slab that you would sit on, or they were on a bit of wood that was a piece of wood that had a hole in it, and then you sat on the piece of wood and you pooped through the hole, and it would collect in a latrine pit, you know, latrine pit. And then they would either empty it or use it as fertilizer or whatever. You know, that's just how toilets were. I think that was the case in most of Europe, in fact. So, yeah. Before that, it was the same for about, I think it's been about the same since like Roman times. You know, people either just shit in holes, or they used the bathrooms, which were again just slabs with that people sat on with holes in them. So I hope that answered the question. Ali said stupid. Who's stupid? What's going on? Are you calling me stupid now? Whatever. Jeffrey says hi, Ali. So yeah. Anyway, I hope that explains something. But yeah, I can explain that basically. I think that the Asian and the African toilets are basically the same as well. You know, basically their toilet history is about the same. Only they like squatted more than they did sat. So I don't think there's much difference about how people shit, you know. Ember says, do you know why was the big Europe epidemic where died 1/4 the pandemic exactly because the toilet, mate? Do you know why? What? What? Are you talking about the plague? Are you talking about the plague? It's called the plague, I think. I think it's called the plague. Are you talking about the plague where a quarter, well, it's a quarter to a third of all Europeans died in this plague thing? Okay, let me explain this. The plague, the plague was started as a form of, a very, very early form of, what's it called? Germ warfare, you know, of bacterial warfare, where basically Genghis Khan and all of his guys basically decided to throw rotten, diseased pigs over city walls. And basically what he did was, what happened with that is that basically people got diseases from that. Essentially, what started to happen was that there were fleas and stuff that jumped off of these diseased pigs and other animals that they threw over city walls, and basically they started to infect things like cats and rats and all that stuff that people used to have, and basically the fleas then spread the plague. And yeah, that's what the plague was. That's the bubonic plague. That's how that began and ended. So it has nothing to do with toilets. That has absolutely nothing to do with toilets. It's all to do with fleas, infecting mostly rats, which is sad because it means that now everybody's afraid of rats. And rats aren't that bad. I like rats. Ember says, in Europe was no toilets before 100 years ago. Wrong. That's just wrong. If you want to get really technical, this is really good. If you want to get really technical, when was the Roman Empire? That was like 3,000 years ago. Did that start? Yeah, it was even earlier than that. It was actually the Greeks that basically invented the first latrine toilet, which was basically just a stone block with a hole in it that people sat on, and then they basically shit into this reservoir. I've got to clean that every now and again. So it's the ancient Greeks. So it could have been 4,000, 5,000 years ago even. That basically they had the toilet. So you're super wrong. Like a lot. In fact, in Rome, it used to be a huge social experience where basically people would go into bathhouses and steam houses and basically sit on one of these toilets and basically just sit and have a steam while they chat. I'm not making this up. This is a weird thing. They found like these like huge halls where basically there were just lines and lines and lines of holes in a big stone slab. Just lots of holes. And they found out that those were toilets. It's freaking weird, people. Hi, Jeffrey Griffin. Ali says, you stupid. Me? Ali then says, you have to change your style. What's wrong with my style? What's going on? I'm going to have to block you if you keep calling me stupid and just being stupid. Embes says, no, not because pigs, because rats, and rats are shit eaters. No. They can eat shit, but they basically don't like to eat shit. Most rats eat basically like garbage, rubbish, you know, which we used to put in our latrine pits. So yeah, it's not just rats. Lots of things carry the fleas that cause the plague. But yeah, you can look it up. You can totally look this up. Anyway, Ember says wrong. I can proof that. Proof that? Go for it. Ember says go to best modern palace on Europe in France. What? Palace on Europe in France. What is the palace? They're in palace. Now in museum is no one toilet. I don't know what you mean. If you're talking about the modern toilet, I've explained to you how the toilet has evolved and what we have now. I've already explained that what we have now is new, and it's not even like 100 years old. The toilet that I've got in my bathroom right now, like itchy leg. The toilet that I've got in my bathroom right now is actually that design has only been around for 60 years, I think. I think it's 60 years. But that design has only been around for 60 years. About 100 years ago, I think it's about 120 years ago or something like that, somebody got the neat idea to basically put water in a latrine toilet to stop the smell and to help with the flushing process and stuff like that. But apart from that, it was still a hole that people shit in when they were sitting down. So I think I got bit by a mosquito. Son of a bitch. Ali, please explain yourself, or I will block you. Ember says, palace is place where live kings. Oh, you mean a palace? A palace. A castle. A palace. Right. In palaces, in castles, I don't know much about the European ones, but I think they're the same. Essentially, when you went to the toilet in a castle, it was just it was like a stone throne with a hole in it that emptied out to the side of out of the side of the palace or castle. That's all it was. So yeah, I've explained something else to you. Now what? Yeah, I've definitely been bitten. Shit. I need like a scratchy, itchy stick. I don't know what your point is when you're talking about toilets. Why are you talking about toilets anyway? You're just demonstrating how ignorant you are at certain subjects. I just want to point this out to you. This is all that you've done so far. So, like, what's the point? Basic person says, why are we talking about toilets, Mbest? Yes, that's something I want to know. Why are you talking about toilets? I mean, I think it was because we were talking about like the spider being in the toilet, but I don't know why we've gone on to this. You know, I'm not a toilet expert. I don't know anything about toilets besides just general knowledge about history. But no, I mean, like, MBest, if you want to look up Roman toilets or Roman steam bathhouses or Roman bathhouses, then you'll find these pictures where it's basically in Roman ruins. They have discovered all of these rows upon rows of toilets, and some of them are like 3,000, 4,000 years old. So yeah. Anyway, this is a random subject to talk about. I know it is. I know. Weird, right? So Ember says, okay, let's talk about my only Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un? I don't know how to pronounce his name. I normally just say Kim Jong-un, or isn't he like the fat king or something like that? Doesn't he have like a bonnet about a bee in his bonnet about the whole thing about like China calling him fat all the time? I don't know. Ember says uncle. Oh, uncle. So Kim Jong-un is your uncle, really? Okay. Well, that does explain one. That explains an aspect of your character, I guess. I don't mean to. I don't mean to call you a shit and stuff like that. A bastard. A prick. What am I trying to say? But this would explain something, at least, if he was your uncle. Jeffrey says, Tubbs, you are awesome. You can go head to head with anyone. I don't know about anybody, you know. But explaining shit to idiots is something that, I mean, I've done some, I've done teaching in the past, you know. I mean, when I was in lifeguards, I basically, I taught life-saving, life-saving skills, CPR and stuff like that to kids and stuff. So I know how to talk to kids. So I know how to talk to the immature. And when I was in the Navy, I basically for the naval cadets. I don't know if a basic person. I don't know if you know this, but like in England, I don't know if there's this in other parts of the UK, but there's this thing called Sea Cadets, and essentially I was a captain. I was basically a glorified PE teacher. So I know how to talk to kids and teenagers and basically teach people how to do stuff, because in the life-saving thing, it wasn't just kids, it was adults as well that were coming to these life-saving courses and stuff. So, and I was an instructor. So I know how to talk to immature people and kids, and also teach adults as well, even if I needed to. But yeah, even in college, I was a trainee TA as well, but that was only during the more practical side. Yeah, I've heard of that. Well, basically military reserve people, for the Sea Cadets, military reserve people, or people that are in military reserve, or the TA, or the auxiliary army, people that basically can be called upon to do army work. They they are basically they're the people that do all of the adult stuff in the Sea Cadets and the Army Cadets and all that stuff. They're either ex-servicemen or they're people in the auxiliary army and stuff like that. And I'm part of the auxiliary navy. At least I was. I've never been officially discharged, so I'm guessing I'm still part of that. But no, I hold the rank of captain. So basically, I was a higher up teacher for the Sea Cadets and stuff like that, and that was fun. So true, basic person. This is a very random topic for MBest to bring up. Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy. It's getting very close to midnight here, and I want to go inside quickly and check that my aunt is okay. I think she's probably going to bed or something soon. So I just want to make sure. So I'm probably going to have to run away, guys. Away. I run away. So I lost my R's again. R's. Hard R's. I cannot say hard R's because I'm a British person. We don't say hard R's. That's not how you speak English. I'm really kidding, American guys. But yeah, we can't say, British people can't say hard R's. Oh boy. I still don't know what Ali was talking about. Was he calling me stupid? Because I'm still, that's what I'm confused about. I don't know what he was saying. Was he telling me to change my style? Because he can't tell me anything. Because he's that's mean. External illumination activated, which means I'm going to have to walk to the house. Anything anybody want to bring up for the next 10 minutes? Otherwise, I'm going to go. MBest, do you have anything else you want to blabber about? I was going to say talk about, but that's mean, isn't it? Is that too mean? You know, saying that he can't talk, he basically just blabbers on about something. Have I lost connection again? No, it's okay. Weird. Well, guys, if nobody's got anything else, I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a special one because I'm planning to do a wardrobe test to try out my lovely outfit that I've got planned to be wearing during the 1940s weekend. And yeah, I was planning to actually wear my military outfit, you know, my actual Navy uniform, but can't do that because I don't fit into it anymore. So yeah. Plus, apparently it's pink because somebody was trying to play a joke on me. Bye, Tubbs. Lots of hugs for you in your sexy belly and hugs to everyone else. Night, says Basic Person. Well, I'm guessing he's run away, so before he does, I'm going to quickly show the belly again. Although I already did it once. This will probably piss off MBest, but who cares? Who cares what he thinks? Apparently nobody. So that was me again. But belly rubs for you, dude. And for you, Jeff. Oh, is that the fart noise that you were afraid of, MBest? Is that what you were talking about? Oh, I did that because basically whenever I sit down now, I used to play with my nephews and basically pretend to make the fart noise because when they were babies, it was they used to laugh whenever I sat down and made the fart noise because they're babies. So they thought farts were funny. But now I can't stop doing it. So whenever I sit down, I go. But yeah. Whatever. Sorry, I'm taking it off now so that when I walk in the house, my aunt doesn't question why I'm wearing a pup hood. Otherwise, I will forget and wear it in the house. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. I'm really sorry about the internet connection. It seems to be just a one-time thing, but it's gone now, so that's fine. Yeah, I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Like I said, it will be a very special video, special live stream, because I want you guys' opinion on stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm sorry again, by the way, for not uploading anything to the Tank Top channel, but you know, it's basically a thing of like I can't shoot things in the house or set anything up because my aunt will see. I don't know if she's outside right now, so I'm talking like this. But yeah, it's very hard to actually shoot stuff when she's around. That's why last week was a bit of everything week, where basically it was a lot of clips from other things. So it feels weird with no pubhood. My head feels very light. But yeah, I never know how to say goodbye to you guys. That's why I said the whole say bye Tubbs thing, and I'll go away. But yeah, thank you, Basic Person. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Steve, for joining me. Everyone else, well, I would thank you, but I'm not entirely sure if I should. So yeah, say bye Tubbs, and I'll go away. I'll hit the button. Can anyone catch my wink the last time I did this? Because I thought it was a really good wink when I saw it in the playback. Oh, now I've got something in my eye. There we go. Good night, Basic Person. Great big hugs to you, says Jeffrey. Big hugs to you from me as well, of course. That just goes without saying, but I've said it. You know what I mean? I think you said it pretty well, Tubbs. What did I say? I'll say goodbye. Bye-bye, Tubbs. Thank you, Basic Person. Bye. Bye, Jeff. He hasn't said bye yet. Should I wait? No, I've already said say bye, Tubbs, and I'll hit the button. So I'll hit the button. Anyway, bye, guys. See you tomorrow.